Most of us have heard about HIV, but have you heard about the international goals and targets to help minimize negative consequences and stigma associated with HIV? Well, if your education was anything like mine, you probably didn't hear about those positive advancements or steps where we could have that advancement, which is really important to highlight to emulate that stigma is not inevitable. So today we're going to break down the UNAIDS 2020-2030 goals. So in 2013, the UNAIDS set a goal that by 2020, we would have the 90-90-90 goals, which are, presented below. And so it shows that the goal is to have 90% of people know about their HIV status, 90% receive antiretroviral therapy, and 90% of people who are receiving antiretroviral therapy to have viral suppression. The issue, you might ask? Well, in 2019, we still weren't close to the 90-90-90 goals, with only 81% knowing their status, 67% having access to antiretroviral therapies, and 59% having viral suppression from those ARTs. So then in December 2020, UNAIDS was like, okay, we can do one step better. We're going to fast track these targets to the 2030 goals, which is 95, 95, 95. And these targets are projected to have pretty important outcomes. So, when you have increased access to testing, prevention methods, longevity of those prevention methods, you see a decrease in stigma as more people are educated, which means that there's less likely to be an increase in people who are contracting HIV, but also a decrease in the number of people who are dying from AIDS related illnesses or HIV related illnesses. And there's also a large investment on the return of these medications. And these calculations aren't just by the UNAIDS. There have also been several researchers who have shown that if governments were to invest in this 95-95-95 program, there would be worldwide benefits on a long-term scale, even if the antiretroviral therapies were generically manufactured, which reduces the cost of manufacturing. Simply put, the AIDS epidemic and stigma is not inevitable, especially if we hold policymakers, society, and ourselves accountable to pass legislation that improves access, reduces stigma, and promotes education and information.